Bullies at school, they don't pick on the people that are strong. They don't want somebody that's going to fight back. People who want to ride you about your faith, who want to mock you, make fun of you on your job because you're a Christian, family members, they're not going to pick on you if you're willing to stand up for what you believe. They're going to mess with you if they can make fun of you and hold you down. David said, nobody's holding me down. Nobody's holding me back. I know who I am. I'm going to live like I know who I am. I'm going to be what God has called me to be, and nothing is going to keep me from it. You get in my way, you'll get the same treatment. He said, this giant, this Philistine who mocks my God is not even as good as a lion and a bear that I already killed, and you're next. I wish Phil were here. Next! That was his attitude. So he goes and meets Saul again. He says, I'm fit for the battle. I can do this because I've proven myself. And Saul says, well, at least, if you feel like you have to do this, at least take my armor and wear it. This was not the first time that David had seen Saul's armor. This was not the first time that David had even been in contact with Saul's armor. Look at the previous chapter. Near the end of the previous chapter talks about David being anointed by Samuel to be the next king over Israel. It talks about Saul, the current king, being troubled by these evil spirits. Why? Because he wouldn't deal with the problems in his own house. Even then, in a spiritual battle, he had to call someone who knew how to do warfare to come into his house and do battle. When he was troubled, when these evil spirits came and troubled him, David came in, and as he would sing and play and worship God, the Spirit of God would fill that place, and there's no devil in hell that can coexist in the presence of God. They've got to go. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Whom the Son of God has set free is truly, completely, unquestionably, unalterably free. David understood that principle in the Old Testament. As he began to worship God, and the Spirit of God came into that place, peace came upon Saul. To the point where Saul trusted David so much, relied on him so much, that he made him, at the end of chapter 16, he made David to be his armor bearer. David spent a season being the one who would polish the king's armor, keep it ready, help him transport it. He had been around this. He knew what it was. He knew what it was capable of. He knew its strengths. He knew its value. And yet, given the option of putting it on, he declined. What do I do that for? This is going to slow me down. This is going to be a distraction. You see, because all of the other men, trusting and relying on their armor, are running and hiding. If the armor was what you needed to win a battle, you'd have been out there fighting already. This obviously isn't the answer. He said, don't worry about it. I know how to do this. I'm going to trust God. I'm going to use the strength and the character that God gave me. I'm going to use the weapons that God gave me. And I'm simply going to go out there. And with God's help, I'm going to take this guy. Not afraid to go into the battle. You know the story. He went out there, and Goliath laughed and mocked him. So what? Have you sent me a puppy to play with? This is just a kid. Is this a joke? Is this a joke? And David said, laugh while you can. See, I may have killed a lion and a bear, but there are other wild animals out here that I haven't had a chance to kill yet, or haven't had a need to kill yet. And after I kill you, they're going to come and eat you as you lay there. For you and I, that would be like having a 3-year-old come and tell us he's going to kick our butt. Can you imagine that? Man, can you imagine a 3-year-old coming up and threatening your life? It's not going to sound credible. Goliath didn't take it as a credible threat. But David waded into the battle. And he, on behalf of God's people, he was the only one in all of Israel willing to stand up. But he said, somebody's got to. You may not be willing to, you may be too afraid to, but I'm not. And I'm going to go into battle. If I've got to carry your lazy hind ends, and if that's what has to happen. But this guy is not going to stand here one more day and defame my God. The Bible tells us that Goliath had 4 brothers who were also giants. When David was getting ready to go towards the battle, he stopped by a stream of water. Water symbolic of the Word of God and the Spirit of God, a time of refreshing. He got alone with the presence of God. He was refreshed. He was prepared. He was strong when he went to battle. He was lacking nothing. He picked up 5 smooth stones. People used to teach, well, he got 5 stones because if he missed the first time, he had 4 more. No, he knew Goliath had 4 brothers. He said, I'm only going to need 1 for you, but if your brothers come, they're going to get the same treatment. Same thing he said to the lion and the bear. Yeah. Your buddies come, they're going to get the same treatment. Look, he was in effect telling himself, Goliath's brothers come after me, I'm not afraid, I'm ready. I'm already prepared. I'm not going to wait till the battle presents itself to get ready. I'm going to stay ready. And when it comes, I'm going. Right for it. He loaded one of those rocks in that sling. And I believe he was never afraid. He was so confident, so bold. I think the whole time he was worshiping. David wrote through the Psalms how the Lord guarded him, the Lord protected him, the Lord watched over him. And he walked out onto that field knowing what he was talking about. He walked out on that field not afraid of anything. I have a couple of things I want to share with you real quick. He said, the Lord is my buckler. That's a shield. The Lord shields me. The Lord protects me. When he was going out there to face the giant, he said, I don't need the king's armor because God is my shield. Now the word shield that is translated in the English shield actually is a protection, a barrier that is prickly on the outside and soft on the inside. It's not a typical shield, but it's a barrier that has barbs in it. Sharp objects where if you try to stick your hand there to grab something. Over in Kenya, the people who had any kind of wealth, any kind of money or substance, had big gates up in front of their homes. They had big walls surrounding it so people couldn't break in. And on the tops of those walls, they had pieces of broken glass embedded in the cement sticking up. So if you tried to come over, you were going to hurt yourself. That's the kind of barrier. He said, when God is my shield, He is a barrier. That He's anybody that comes against me and attacks me, that anybody that's trying to derail the work of God in my life, they're going to face that. But I'm safe on the other side of it. God is not a threat to me. I have a place of rest and comfort. David went out there saying, I don't need the king's armor. God's protecting me. God's watching over me. He said, God is my strength. God is my fortress. When he said, God is my fortress, it is a stronghold, a castle, a defense, but it's also a place where when the enemy comes against me, it lures him in to where he thinks my vulnerability is, but it's setting a trap for him. It's setting a trap for him. David's saying, I don't need the king's armor because God is setting a trap for Goliath, and Goliath doesn't see it. God is luring Goliath into a place where he's going to have to answer for his insolence. Woo. See, some of you, if you only realize what God wanted to do, you'd be willing to fight.